Wanted to defend myself really quick because I was getting some, it's not even directed hate. It was just random hate speech online from the likes of Foodie Beauty, who said the following in one of her lives. And I just had to defend drinking water. She said the following, that if you drink water regularly, that means that you have diabetes. And let me just say, the body needs a certain amount of water every day. Just saying. And if I drink water, if I go to the movies and I choose to drink water over soda, that does not mean I'm craving water. That means I choose not to drink a giant bucket of water or a giant bucket of soda. And that I am saving myself that sugary influx of carbs, of sugar in my veins. When I go out, I would rather drink water than drink soda. Not that I'm craving soda or craving water, but I would rather have water than have soda. It's not that I need those things. Because I definitely need to drink more water during the day. I probably get maybe, because you're supposed to drink, as a woman, you're supposed to drink probably about 4 liters of water, or 3 liters of water a day. And I probably get about 1.5 liters to 2 liters a day, maybe. I can never push for that last liter ever. In the beginning of my water channel, I really did get those 3 liters of water every day. You could see consistently I was posting 6 videos of 20-ounce glasses of water. You can see that I was just regularly posting water videos and was really good about it. But then I kind of fell off, and I post maybe about 1 to 3 videos a day now, which is about 1.5 liters of water every day. I struggle with drinking more water. That's why I have the water channel, is that I encourage myself and other people to drink water on a regular basis. Because it's not just for you. I struggle with it too. And I'm trying to get to 10,000 glasses of water because I know how difficult it is for people to drink water. And in my videos, you can see I'm not like these other water guys that can just chug a glass of water and they're super excited about it. Sometimes it's a chore to drink water. It's hard. Drinking water is difficult. And so sometimes I feel like I have this imposter syndrome that I'm not, that I'm not a true water drinker because although I am passionate about the idea of drinking water, that I think that everybody should drink water, to me, there's times where I'm like, oh man, I know I gotta drink this water, but it's real hard. I'm like, oh man, I know I'm gonna be up all night peeing. It's hard. Sometimes you gotta do the hard thing and drink the water. Get your water in. But I know I'm not diabetic because I got my A1C tested just recently. I think it was, I don't know if I got it tested in March or April. I think April was the last time, April 30th. And it was 5.5 A1C, which is high. But my weight was also on April 30th around 170 pounds. And I'm 156 pounds now. So I believe if I had my A1C tested, it would be a lot lower. My cholesterol was also 233. And I just got my cholesterol tested today because I went to the doctor yesterday. My cholesterol is 217. They didn't test my A1C. I didn't ask to get my A1C tested. But they tested my cholesterol. Larity, peace. They tested my cholesterol because I had done a fast before I went to the doctor's office. And my cholesterol had dropped about 17, 18 points. So, I mean, I'm not saying that my blood sugar probably, my 3-month blood sugar probably dropped significantly. It might have dropped to like 0.1 of, point one or whatever. But that's significant for an A1C because that means that you're taking steps towards healthier living. It's been as low as 4.8 before. That was when I was 220 pounds. It's been as high as 5.6. I think that's the highest it's been. So it's a range. It's been high, it's been low. So right now it's in the upper ranges because my weight is up right now. And I get my blood sugar tested. My blood sugar is I don't know the 4.9. I don't know the deciliter or whatever. I just know it's like between a 70 and 100. Mine is like sitting high at like 102 right now. So it's a little high. It sits a little bit higher just because I don't take medication for it. So it sits a little bit higher. But it's not outside the normal range by like a lot. It's usually anywhere between like 90 and 100. So it's not terrible, but it is on the upper end. Daily blood sugar. I don't know. But that's because my A1C is a little bit on the high end too. So, and that's because my weight is up right now, and because I do tend to, as a vegan, vegetarian, I do tend to eat a lot more carbs. My meals are very carb heavy. So that is something that I am working on. I am starting to look at my macros more, and I am starting to eat less because they have like the carb counter of like how many carbs you're allowed per day. I am looking at lowering the amount of carbs that I eat during the day. And I am kind of trying to up the amount of protein that I get per day. I am taking supplemental vegan shakes to supplement my protein during the day, to kind of counterbalance like carbs to protein. I'm looking at supplementing my B12 intake. I'm thinking about buying supplements for B12 because the last time I got my B12 tested, I was low on the B12 counter. And I really need to take actual like B12 and take care of that. There are things that I know that I need to take care of with myself. As a vegetarian, as a vegan, I don't get enough B12. I know this about myself, and I do need to take care of it. And it's something that I have been neglecting. I take B6, I take vitamin D, I take vitamin E, I take Ayurvedic supplements. One is Triphalia, which is a supplement that I take for digestion, and it's supposed to be helping me lose weight. I also take Ashmi, which is supposed to be something for mental clarity. I was given that at the last retreat that I went to, and it was just like a gift, and I was trying it out to see how I liked it. I don't take Ashmi very often. Sometimes if I just am like, taking all of my supplements and I'm like, oh yeah, I have Ashmi. But my doctor doesn't put those in because they're natural supplements and they don't care about those. As long as, because they don't affect my medication or whatever. I think I should let my psychiatrist know about it though, because I'm curious to know if it affects my medication at all. Are you playing with that? I never see you play with that. Ah, well, I bought that for you. You actually do play with it. But I just got my CPAP today. So we're trying to take care of my sleep now. Because if I can take care of my sleep, I have more energy during the daytime to do things like exercise and have more energy to be more focused and, get stuff done during the day. It's this whole overall holistic, overall wellness during the day, that if I sleep well, I'm better during the day. I have more energy. I can do things during the day. And it's just chipping away one thing at a time with my health. And I'm working on taking care of all of this stuff that I need to get taken care of. And the first step because I just started going to this doctor. So the first step is taking care of my sleep, because my sleep study was really, really bad. And it was a complaint that I had. And so we're working on that. And then we're going to work on my weight. And, I've been counting macros. I've been working on that. I've been doing the steps necessary to lose weight. I've been exercising. I've been dieting. Not necessarily dieting, but just being more mindful about how and what I'm eating. I say that as I ate like 6 cookies today, but I didn't have like a huge lunch. I was kind of snacky today. But I try not to, if I'm snacky, I try not to like eat like a whole big meal on top of the snacky. If I'm like eat like 6 cookies, I don't eat like a big heavy meal on top of the 6 cookies. And sometimes I make mistakes, and that's okay. If you make mistakes, the thing about it is that you try not to keep making those mistakes. But that's the thing, like, even though my blood sugar, my A1C is high right now, my doctor is not concerned about prediabetes yet. And we've talked about prediabetes. I said, are you concerned about it? She said no. And I've asked my doctor about this. I've asked my psychiatrist about this. They both said, no, you're not in prediabetes range yet. Even at my highest, even at 170 pounds, when I was really heavy, I was eating like garbage, they still said, no, you're not prediabetes range yet. And I said, okay. Because I go to the doctor quite regularly. I go to 2 doctors quite regularly. I go to one doctor. I go to my GP once every couple months. I go to my psychiatrist once every 4 weeks. Once every 5 weeks. So once every like month and a half or so, I'm seeing a doctor. Can you say that, Foodie Beauty? I don't think so. Are you getting blood drawn every time you go to the doctor? Because I do. I am getting my blood drawn every time I go to the doctor. I have the marks to prove it. They're like, which arm? I'm like, lefty. Lucky lefty. I have gotten a pull from the right, but usually I get it from the left because that was my plasma drawing arm. I'm losing weight though. I've lost about 7 pounds. On weigh-in day it was 7.8, but then I had some Twizzlers, so then the next day it was 7.2. So I should be clear. After 21 days or 3 weeks of monitoring, it was 7.2 pounds. So I dropped about half a pound. Just saying. So it was about 7.2 pounds, not 7.8 pounds. It's closer to 7 pounds. Not closer to 8. But still, that's still pretty good. I'm still quite happy with within 21 days of monitoring having lost 7 pounds. And that's not including the stuff I lost during my meditation retreat. Which was another like 3 or 4 pounds. So, because again, I was up to like 270, and then I came back and I started monitoring. And when I started monitoring on MyFitnessPal, the first weigh-in I did was 265, and that's what I label as my first entry on MyFitnessPal is 265, even though I was up to like 270. So, I mean, if you really want to get technical, I've lost, what are we at, 257? I've lost about 12 pounds. If you want to get technical, I mean, we're not throwing, since I've started monitoring on MyFitnessPal, I've lost 7 pounds. But it's more than that. And I know it's more than that, but I'm not quibbling about it. I'm only going by what I know on MyFitnessPal. And that's okay. That's okay. I was anywhere from like 267 to 269. There were a couple times I'd be 270, 272. It just depended on the day. It depended on what I ate. But I was anywhere from like 267 to 269. Some days I'd be 270. But that was if I ate like a really heavy meal. If I was bloated. It wasn't like solid weight. It was, I needed to poop weight. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It was a range. I couldn't tell you. I wasn't monitoring back then, so I couldn't tell you exactly how much I weighed. I just know that it was sort of like a range. I would say, specifically, before I went to the retreat, I weighed myself, and I was probably about 267. That's kind of what I point to. Before the retreat, I was about 267. So I lost about 2 pounds during the retreat, which is good. I'll take it. 2 pounds during a retreat, that's good. Wow, 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 wow. Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba ba da ba. All I know is I got done with that retreat and I felt amazing. I did that retreat and I was like, I felt like $1,000,000. All of that meditation, all of those nice people, I felt like $1,000,000. It was great. Sweetest, kindest people. I definitely want to do it again. I definitely want to go back. Highly recommend, if you are into meditation, doing a meditation retreat. Because you just meet some like-minded individuals that, I mean, if you have the time, if you have the money, if you can get off work to do it. And I highly, personally, I suggest transcendental meditation. Transcendental meditation is just, I find it to be personally satisfactory. It's one of those things that has definitely personally changed my life. I was being hospitalized every 6 months or so, and then after I learned, I was hospitalized once, and then I just wasn't hospitalized after that. Like I stopped being a danger to myself. I stopped being considered an impulsive threat. Something about my environment changed that I could handle myself, I suppose. Perhaps it was perception change. I don't know if I necessarily changed, but I think that it's just that I came off as, I think I was just calmer. I don't know. Because the delusions didn't change. That wasn't, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I believed, I still believed those things. I still struggled with those things. That wasn't, I mean, that's something I still struggle with. That's not, but the fact that I meditated every day made it so that I was able to tackle them more easily, I suppose, if that makes sense. I don't usually talk about my mental health on here anymore. But yeah. It's a good talk. It's a good talk talking about my health and stuff. I don't talk about this stuff anymore, lest I be judged. But I've really worked hard at carving out a life for myself. I think that perhaps I have changed. I just don't see the difference. I was actually writing about this in my pocket notebook today. That I don't see the difference necessarily between myself and beginning. The only difference is that maybe I've stopped being so impulsive about things, and that I've made promises to not do certain things, like get on a plane and fly to LA, or leave my town and go searching for David Lynch, or and I've I suppose some of the delusions have fallen to the wayside, such as um, the car honking, the old men who supposedly looked like David Lynch. I used to be scared of white old men. And I'm not scared of white old men anymore. I don't follow blue and red cars anymore. Car honking doesn't bother me anymore. Sometimes I'll get a random trigger about it. I'll hear a car horn and it'll be jarring to me, but it won't trigger me in the same way that it used to. And that it was like toilet flushing. Toilet flushing used to, because when I was in the jail, toilet flushing used to trigger me so bad. It'd be like full-on conversations with my toilet. And it was like that with car horns. I would have full conversations with car horns. And now I recognize that there's no meaning or purpose behind the car horns. So even though I'm jarred by these things, that they are stimulus in my environment, they're not the same, I suppose. It's just, yeah, they exist in my reality. So, yeah, it's not the same. I don't often talk about the things that still do trigger me. It's very little things, very few things that still trigger me. The list has gotten down to a few things that still trigger me. But there are still a few things that catch me off guard every so often. That's why I can't watch I'm very picky about the types of movies that I watch. I'm very picky about watching. I don't watch television usually. I won't just tune up Netflix and watch a show. I won't turn on Hulu or watch a show usually. I'm very particular. I did turn on Max and I watched Turtles All the Way Down, and that was rare thing for me to do is to turn on a movie from a and I was watching as I said, what are some other things I can watch while I'm waiting for this movie to come on. And some people said some other shows, and I started watching some of these other shows that people were recommending, and I got really triggered by these other shows that I just had to stop watching them because it was too much. I couldn't watch anything else on Max. I had to just watch Turtles All the Way Down and just turn off my subscription because I couldn't watch anything else. I literally was just watching Turtles All the Way Down. I literally cannot watch regular television because it's just too triggering right now. There's just too much on TV that's just it's too much.